Diversity makes a farm resilient. So diversity of income, diversity of investment, diversity of pasture, species, diversity of animal types. I think diversity is a big part of being able to move with the changing seasons. I'm Michael Taylor, sixth generation wool grower here on the New England tablelands. We've been experimenting a little bit here on the farm, doing things a little bit differently the last couple of generations, and yeah, it's starting to pay off. For 15 years I've been back on the farm, and I've seen 3 droughts. We're facing a drought now of record low rainfalls again. The reality is we can't run the ecosystem down so much that it won't recover. Farmers naturally gamble. They gamble on the weather, they gamble on the markets. It's part of our culture. But as we've mined the carbon out of the soil and pushed production to higher and higher levels, it means we're living more on a knife edge. We're not as resilient as we used to be, and it's pretty heartbreaking to see so many farmers that are just being brought to their knees, because they've tried to carry too many stock through a dry time, and the feed bills are starting to mount up to something that they can't pay back. And just counting our losses, putting all our live seedlings together, so for planting. Mix of oaks and eucalypts and stunted oaks. Everything that's survived the winter is worth keeping. We've lost, so many trees out of our landscape here. It seems fairly critical to be getting those back. Why oaks? I've always tried to make it as cheap as possible, so acorns are free off the trees, and a lot of the oaks have evolved to withstand fires as well. And oaks are particularly hardy because they have a very large taproot. During dry times, those roots are reaching down to where there's moisture. The amount of time that I spend doing this is no more than you might spend on a few veggies. The difference is these trees are going to be here for 100 years. Not like my veggies that might be frosted next week. There's so many benefits to trees. The big one is shade and shelter. We see the animals sheltering, we shelter. And the pasture shelter. It's the same. The grass is greener on the other side, but here it's greener under the trees. It couldn't be more evident at the moment in the middle of this record-breaking drought. Everybody knows about what bees mean to food production. Trees are supporting those ecosystems, all those insects, all the other native insects that we have that pollinate our crops, and all the birds that feed on the pest insects that keep things in balance. The other really big one is the amount of carbon that's sequestered in trees, in timber. And then leading on to that is as the trees are breaking down, it's the carbon going back into the ground. And that's what we've lost. That's what's been mined.
My dad being the second self-propelled tree planter he built, planting trees in '91. This is tree planting in Ram Paddock. That's all a big forest now. That's a picture from Tree Fest. You can see all the buses and the cars streaming in. We had over 6,000 people through the gate that day.
My parents both came from families that had big gardens, so they appreciated having plants and trees and around them. And they had an idea of what it took to look after those plants and trees. But I guess for my parents that extended onto the farm.
It's 91, so you can see that was before the top sugarloaf was planted out. It looks like reserve had just been planted, and then that's in 2011, so you can see all the trees. All the creek lines been planted. There's a forest in there that I've planted since. You can see all that's grown up here. You can see all the engineered woodlands that were put in. That's obviously the bigger one. But then there's reserve, there's tank paddock, frog forest. There's no tree, hardly any trees there.
My parents planted nearly 200,000 trees on the place. I've only planted about 30 or 40,000 maybe in the last 10, 15 years. Out of a working year, probably 5 or 6 full days if I'm planting an average of 2,000 trees. If you're getting enjoyment out of it, it's not a whole lot of extra work, really. Plant those about 2,000 trees in a day if you've got a couple of people. So it's possible to get a lot of trees in quickly. Quick way of making a forest, isn't it? When we're talking peace of mind, the potential alternative enterprise during hard times like now, a lot of these oaks I'm selecting for their potential timber product. I mightn't benefit from it myself, but maybe my children or my children's children will. Being able to go out and harvest timber, harvest trees, trees that you planted like 25, nearly 30 years ago, and to be cutting them down and cutting them into logs and taking them into the mill, get some income out of the trees. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. If I can keep making this place more beautiful than what my parents have achieved in such a short time, I think if my kids want to come back here, I'll have achieved that. I'll consider it a success. This is the third drought I've been through. Having the trees is just amazing for your mental health. Being able to go out and work in the trees, seeing the animals relaxing under the trees, just seeing the trees grow. It's it's very satisfying. There's been a report come out recently about needing to plant 1.2 trillion trees, which is, a really large number for any of us. Here it's just been about biting off what you can chew each year. It might seem overwhelming, but if everybody chips in and does a bit, if our customers are valuing the tree planting that's being done in agricultural land, it encourages farmers. My hopes for Australian agriculture are that we can find a better balance in the way that we're managing our ecosystems that support us and the healthy soils that we're losing rapidly. Australia still has one of the worst records for soil loss in the world, and that's not good. We can do better, and I think trees make up a big part of that. I think trees are a big forgotten part of that equation.